Hello and welcome to this month's edition of Field Service Insights. I'm Michael Blumberg, founder and CEO of Field Service Insights, and this month we're looking at strategies for reducing the cost of no trouble found. If you're a manufacturer of high-tech equipment, chances are that no trouble found is one of the most cost-prohibitive issues that you're facing. In fact, I'd say that's true for any company that's supporting high technology. In a survey that we conducted not too long ago, we found that 80% of respondents are looking for alternative solutions to combat high levels of no trouble found. Indeed, no trouble found rates typically range from 10% to 95% for consumer electronic devices. So for some consumer electronic devices, the no trouble found rate is as high as 95%, and others it's as low as 10%. If we're looking at more industrial equipment or capital equipment, we'll find that the no trouble found rates are between 10 to 30%. Let me share with you some more alarming statistics about no trouble found. As much as 75% of all returned products are not defective, and this is looking at a broad array of products, from consumer electronics to medical devices to information technology to telecommunications, etc. And the cost to process returns are often as much as three times greater than outbound shipments. And no trouble found also has an economic impact for service providers. So it could impact sales revenues by 10 to 20%. In fact, that's often a statistic that we find from many manufacturers is that 10 to 20% of their revenue is tied up in returns. And there's a multiplier effect facing these service providers when it comes to processing the returns. First of all, there's lost revenue. So if a product is returned because it's defective or a spare part, it's defective, and it's something that's brand new, well, that's a lost revenue because you have to refund the money to the customer. So let's examine some of the reasons why there's a high no trouble found in many different industries. Well, typically, no trouble found rates are higher when dealing with high volume, low margin products than they're dealing with low volume, high margin products. And one of the reasons is it's driven by liberal return policies. No questions asked returns. You can return the product back in 30 days for any reason. Another reason for high no trouble found is a concept of parts pooling. So what is that? Well, that occurs when a field engineer tries to resolve a problem by swapping parts. When one part doesn't work, the field engineer will try another part and another part until the problem is resolved. Let's look at more reasons for high no trouble found. Well, one of those is that no trouble found could be due to chronic failures or rogue parts. In other words, there's some defective parts in the supply chain. Maybe it's manufactured at a certain point in time. Maybe there's a certain batch that has a problem and is creating problems that lead to equipment failure. So it really comes down to using the carrot or the stick when it comes to reducing or eliminating no trouble found. Of course, the carrot is a strategy or process that encourages good behavior. And examples of these strategies or practices are providing training courses. In other words, training your technicians and your channel partners of how to effectively troubleshoot and diagnose the equipment to make sure that you're replacing the right part, that it's not just a no fault found issue, but you really have isolated the fault and determined the way to resolve it. Providing proper documentation to the folks that are fixing the equipment, as well as investing in a knowledge management and problem resolution tools for these technicians to use to automate the problem. So I shared with you lots of different ways to resolve no trouble found. Let's review what an optimal solution could look like. And there's multiple ones. So one is you can improve the front end customer care by improving your troubleshooting and diagnostics before you dispatch a field engineer, before you issue an RMA to the customer.